Growing up in the 80s and 90s, the arcade felt like another world. Neon lights buzzing, coins stacked in your hand, and the sound of machines calling you over. Every game was a challenge, every high score was a legend. No updates, no saves, just skill, luck, and the hope that your parents gave you enough money. In this video, I'll be counting down my top 10 arcade games that I used to play and still love. Coming in at number 10, we had Capcom's Commando, which was also known as Wolf of the Battlefield in Japan. It's a highly influential virtual scrolling run and gun arcade game that was released in 1985. It popularised the military shooter genre and established the run and gun style of gameplay for numerous later titles. So in this countdown, we are going to be having one or two goes of each game, depending on how good or bad that I do. So normally it consists of 3 lives per go. So let's see how we get on with Commando. Okay, so as you can see, I've not had the best starts. I'm going to get my excuses out there straight away. I've not played some of these games for years and years, even though I've got a classic arcade stick. It's still been quite some time since I played any of these games. And as you can see, it's game over already, so I am going to go back in once more. Let's see if I can do better this time. I think I just kind of remember that this game was brutally hard, as most arcade games were, and as most console games as well. They was brutally hard back in the old days, as you'd say, but Commando was very difficult indeed. I seem to be doing a little bit better this time. Getting used to the controls. There's some very strange kind of control layouts on this arcade stick which I'm using, but my goal is to just try and get to the end of the level. Doesn't matter if I don't do it, but I just want to see if I can get to the end of the level. Got to try and rescue him, which I didn't do. Didn't rescue the hostage. Okay, right, let's go back in. Is this the end of the level? No, it's not, is it? I've got to go through the bridge. Right, this brings back a lot of memories, and again, I didn't do very good, did I? Do you know what? I'm going to go back in once more, as this is the first game in this countdown. I feel like I should be starting off that little bit better. So here we go again. This is it. This is it. As he waves goodbye to the chopper, because I'm sure he would do. Always reminds me of the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Brings back some fantastic memories playing this. Yeah, I used to go to my local arcade in Birmingham City Centre. It was called Dayville's, if I recall, and it was a very kind of dark, dingy, as most arcade places were back in the 80s and early 90s. Let's see if I can rescue the hostage this time. I did indeed get 1,000 for that. Drop a grenade for him. Oh, too far. Okay. Oh no. Wow, this is just as brutally hard as I remember it to be. Just get under the bridge at least. Just got to manage my expectations. I'm not going to get to the end of the level. Get under the bridge, which I've done. Come into this. Ah, right, that's the end now. Oh. So I get to the end and I die. Okay, this is my last life, I think it is. I've got 16 grenades, so I really... Okay, that's the end of that one. Okay, that's going to bring an end to game number 10 on my list. Let's just put my name in. The old-fashioned scoreboard that you had a great pleasure of being able to put your name in. Normally it was only 3 letters. This one I can put a bit more in. I'm in 5th place, 19,100.
9.
You thought Commando was hard? Coming in at number 9, we have Green Beret, which was known as Russian Attack in North America. It's a classic 1985 game by Konami, and it's a run and gun game where a soldier with a knife rescues POWs, and it was famous for its side-scrolling, very tough difficulty, Cold War theme, and of course iconic porting to home computers and consoles. My word, this game was tough. It's been a very long time since I played this. Memories unlocked with this one. I used to go to my local chip shop when it didn't have my number one favourite arcade game. It would always alternate to this particular one. It was just so difficult. I remember having it on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, and as you can imagine, the Spectrum version wasn't the best, but I just remember it was just brutal. I mentioned in the intro for this, it was infamous for its hard difficulty. Let's just see if I can at least get to the end of the first level. That would be my goal here. And as you can see, I'm not doing too great. It's fantastic that it's unlocking these awesome memories. Game over. We're going to go in again. I can do better than that. It's been several years since I last played this game. So let's crack on and let's see how we get on. Let's go back in again, rescue the captives. And not all home versions had that particular screen in as well. It was always deemed very close to the original if you just had that captive screen at the beginning. Fantastic memories indeed. Right, I'm going for a different technique. I've gone up the top this time. I'm going to try and save my flamethrower, because if I am fortunate enough to get to the end of the level, that's going to come in very handy when you have a massive onslaught of soldiers coming towards you. It's going to come in very handy, but I can't get past this rocket launcher guy, so let's try again. I'm right at the end now, right, okay, so it's put me past it, which is fortunate. I'm coming to some vehicles now, if I recall. It's actually quite nice to play this game in colour. As I said earlier, I used to play this on the Spectrum, and if I recall, I think the Spectrum was just all green. Everything was green, so it is quite nice to see this in full colour, so to speak. Not doing too great again. I just want to get past, I think when you get past the vehicles, I think you come towards the end of the level. Like I say, you have like a lorry that pulls up, if I recall, and you have just a massive onslaught of enemies coming towards you. So that's my goal for this particular go, is just to get to the end. I'm doing better now. Let me know in the comments if you played this one. Big memories of my local chip shop with this game. Fantastic military style music as well. Yes, this is the end of the level. Right, I remember this being rock hard, especially on the Spectrum. And there's that flamethrower. You can't quite see my character there, just behind the green beret banner. But I'm there, and I've done it. Wow, I am pleasantly surprised by that. I honestly don't remember what the next level is like. I don't think I ever got to this level an awful lot. I was 12 when this game came out, so it was brutally difficult for a 12-year-old. But I definitely done it on the Spectrum once or twice. But I just want to... Oh, hang on, that's a mine, isn't it? I saw it, but I still walked into it, and it's game over. Okay, so not a bad score, not quite the top score, but memories definitely unlocked. Fantastic. That's going to bring an end to the game. That comes in at number 9. I'm just going to put my name in, actually. You've got to put your 3 initials in with that music in the background. Let's put Mel in. Fantastic. That's the end of the game in 9th place. Let's see what's coming in at number 8. And coming in at 8th place, we have Yi Ya Kung Fu, which was a 1985 game by Konami. It was a fighting game where the player controls a joystick and 2 buttons, and it allowed for 16 moves, establishing foundations for the genre with its unique weapon-wielding opponents like the Bruce Lee-inspired blues, diverse stages, and focusing on learning enemy patterns for Oolong's quest to become a Kung Fu master. Its success led to many home ports and cemented its legacy as a classic, despite lacking a traditional block button. Okay, so you can see there Buchu has been dispatched, and I'm now up against Star in stage 2. This game I played an incredible amount. I was never overly very good at it. I don't think I got very far at this. Again, I remember having this on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. I remember that this could also be found in another local chip shop to me as well, and if you ever wanted to play ER Kung Fu, you would spend many an hour in that chip shop just sinking your 10p pieces. Fantastic. I have now dispatched Star, just about, and I'm now up against Nuncha, who looks a little bit mean and moody, doesn't he? So let's see how we get on. I don't expect to get too much further, if I'm being brutally honest. I always remember Nuncha to be quite a formidable opponent, and yeah, it's quite difficult to even get close to. I spend more time just jumping around, but what fantastic memories that these games are really unlocking. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble now. He's only got to hit me once more. Oh dear, okay, that's going to bring an end to my ER Kung Fu journey for this particular video. Let's see how I got on. I got into 3rd place on the scoreboard, and it was always such bragging rights when you had a half decent score and you could put in your name on the scoreboard just before you left the machine and the arcade. Let's just put Mel in there and some exclamation marks maybe. I don't know, let's have a look. What should we put? Okay, that's going to bring an end to the game in 8th place. Let's see what's coming up at number 7. Coming in at number 7, we have Bomb Jack, which was a 1984 release by Tekken. It's a classic single-screen platformer where superhero Jack collects bombs while dodging enemies like birds and mummies across iconic city backdrops such as Cairo and New York. It features high jumps, gliding, power-ups, famously using a licensed Beatles tune in early versions before being ported to home computers. Oh my word, did I love Bomb Jack. Play this time and time again. Didn't find this in any chip shops. This was when I used to go on holiday to Portmaddock in Wales, and I remember it used to draw massive crowds in the on-site arcade. Absolute fantastic memories. Not doing very good. In fact, it's game over already. We are going to go back in, of course, just to see if we can do better. But what fantastic memories that Bomb Jack is. Again, I had this on the ZX Spectrum. Very good port as well. Again, the colour was fairly monochrome, but it was a very good port. It played very well indeed. This was another game that was brutally hard, you know, and I've said it a couple of times already in this video. Games back in them days, they really were very difficult indeed. And if you didn't clear the screen quick enough here, more and more enemies would just become available, and I really needed that last bomb there. You can get that power pellet, which is a bit like a power pellet in Pac-Man, and it allows you to kind of get extra points by going over the enemies and so on like that. But I've managed to get through round 1 at long last. I did actually complete this several times. I think the words you used to use back in those days was, "I've clocked it." If someone would say to you back in those days, "Have you clocked it yet?" it would mean that you've completed it and you've gone all the way back to level 1 with super hard bosses or something like that. But yes, I do remember completing this several times. Don't expect to do that in this particular playthrough. I remember as well that if you collected the bombs in order, so that's in order where they you can see the spark going, and if you used to collect all those bombs in order, then you would get a special bonus. Can't quite remember what that bonus was now, but it wasn't a very easy feat. But I'm doing all right. But more baddies, and I've just gone and flew straight into one. More baddies come, and then the screen fills up, and then it becomes very difficult indeed. I'm currently in round 3. I think it only had about 8 rounds in terms of the backdrops, and then you would go back to the beginning, if I recall, and then you would just have a lot more enemies on the screen. Okay. Oh dear, not doing very well at all, am I? Got 14,100. I'm currently on round 4, so it's not too bad. Again, it's been years since I last played this game on any format. Try and chase down that power pill, which I've got. And it was always important, which you didn't have long, to try and get as many bombs as you can while you had that power pill. And you can see there, it doesn't last long at all. Game over yet again. Wow, okay. Got first on the leaderboard though, which is nice, 15,980. That's going to bring an end to the game in 7th place. And now it's time to see what game is next. Coming in at number 6. And coming in at number 6, we have the amazing Bubble Bobble, which is a 1986 Taito arcade game, and it stars dragons Bob and Bob. Famous for its unique mechanic of trapping enemies in bubbles to pop them, cooperative multiplayer, it had 100 levels of increasing difficulty, hidden secrets like spelling extend for bonuses, and its enduring legacy as a beloved classic with many sequels. And in my opinion, this game has the greatest soundtrack to any arcade game, especially in the 1980s. It's simply sublime. This game is incredible. I also played this on several home systems back in the day, and every version I've ever played, it really was a fantastic game. And this is right up there for me. What a superb game this is, and I think anybody who's ever played Bubble Bobble has very fond memories, especially of the simply amazing music. I just listened to it. Wow. What memories are unlocked by doing this video. But this game so far has probably given the biggest smile that I've got. I'm sat here recording this gameplay and I am smiling. What a game this is. And I remember, I think I got to about level 60 if I recall. Like I say, it's got 100 levels. It can get extremely difficult, as all the games in this list have so far. But yeah, I think I got to about level 60 if I recall. I definitely remember getting more than halfway. I think it was the 60-ish mark, which wasn't too bad a feat at all. Again, I never found this in any of my local chip shops. This was always in the local arcade in Birmingham City Centre, Dave Hills. It was always there, and it always drew a very large crowd. It's very, very popular game, this one. Oh, I missed the water there. If you jump in the water, especially on the top level there, it will take you all the way down to the bottom. And if you've got enemies to collect as well, you get lots of nice points. But I didn't do it on that occasion. I'm on level 6 now. I'm not going to bother spelling out the word extend. I mentioned it in the intro. You see floating letters. And if you spell out the word extend, you can see on the left hand side I've got the letter E. Again, I can't remember exactly what bonus you get. It might just be a points bonus, but or maybe some extra lives or something like that. I'm not going to bother trying to do that in this episode, as the water takes me down. And that's the end of level number 6. I've got the high score already, which is nice. Love the little player 2 icon that pops up from time to time on the right side of the screen. And it's very satisfying when you jump in a big pile of bubbles there. Oh, I jumped into the enemy. Okay, so I finished first with 60,490. Not too bad at all, considering it's been quite some years since I last played this. Just put my name in just for that ultimate satisfaction. And let's see now what's coming up at number 5.
5.
Halfway through the countdown now, and coming in at number 5 is Konami's 1983 arcade hit Track and Field, also known as Hyper Olympic in Japan and Europe. It popularised Olympic style sport games with its intense button mashing for 6 events of 100 metres dash, long jump, javelin, hurdles, hammer throw and the high jump, using 2 rump buttons, 1 action button. It required fast reflexes and precision timing, leading to massive 1984 competition and inspiring sequels and other games, despite causing physical strain on controllers. Oh, okay, with that intro out of the way, let's put my name in, Mel. Okay, I'm at the bottom there. 14 seconds to qualify in the 100 metre dash. I think the biggest memory unlock I've got with this game is that this is the one by far that used to draw the biggest crowd. It was never available in local chip shops or anything like that. You had to go to your local arcade, and it always pulled in so many people. They used to crowd around this to try and beat each other's scores and someone like that. 100 metre dash is done. I've done it in 11 seconds and 45, so that's not too bad. As we go on to the long jump now. So 6 events. It was fairly easy to kind of complete. Oh, that looks decent from there. I'm going to qualify on my first go. Nice. Lovely stuff. Yes, so it was fairly easy to complete the 6 events, if I'm being completely honest. I probably won't do it in this playthrough now, granted, but it was the first game as well that I remember that was a real joystick breaker, button breaker, because people would hammer it. They would think of new techniques to try and get the edge over their opponent. It was very, very competitive. Such an amazing game this was. Let's have a look. Can I beat 7:45? No, not that time. So 7 meters 45 for the long jump. That's not too bad. I'm on the scoreboard, which is nice, and I've got javelin next, I think it is. And this game also featured on a lot of during the 80s. Oh, that's no good. During the 80s, there was a lot of video games, computer game programs on TV, and this game featured heavily in those for like challenges and something like that. So massive memories unlocked with this one. You got to try and get an angle, if I recall, of about 44, 45. That's not going to be quite good enough. Okay, so I'm struggling. 69.08, very close that time. I've got to get over 70 metres to qualify. Around about 44.45, that is perfect. 44 is good. Only thing that let me down then was just my speed, but I've qualified with 72.99, which is nice. Okay, what we got now? We have hurdles. Okay, hurdles were always tough. Remember, I'm on the bottom, up against the computer. What fantastic memories this is. Oh no, I've had a bad start. No, what's going on? Okay, right, I've got it. I've sorted my buttons out now. Look at me go now, I'm flying. Oh, this game has also put a huge smile on my face. Fantastic memories. That's game over for the game. That's in 5th place. Let's see what's coming up at number 4.
4.
Coming in at number 4 is Challenge Road, also known as Kicker in North America. It's a popular 1985 Konami arcade beat-em-up where you play as Lee, a Shaolin monk who's fighting to escape captivity by defeating enemies with kicks and power-ups like energy bolts and discs. It features distinct levels, quick action, a focus on timing, and it was later ported to home computers and modern consoles via arcade archives. Challenge Road was another one of those games that would often pop up in my local chip shop, and this also used to draw in the crowds. It's very, very popular, as all arcade games were, especially in chip shops. I remember buying my bag of scratchings for about 15p or something like that while I was playing this and drinking a can of Fat Coke. Just the glory days that I just remember very fondly whilst looking through and playing some of these games. Okay, so Guts, so that's the end of wave number 1. This is probably the game out of all the games in the list so far that I probably remember the least. I can't remember how far I ever really got on this, so I can't remember what the next levels look like. I think the next one is maybe a temple or something like that, if I recall, but we'll have to wait and see if I'm lucky enough to get there. This guy on the right hand side there who jumps around, he's quite difficult to beat, as that has just proven there. He jumps and he does flying kicks, so he's quite difficult to beat. You kind of have to do flying kicks yourself, but those aren't easy also to connect. And I've lost yet another life. In fact, it's game over. We're definitely going to go back in because I can definitely do better. Okay, here we go. Let's do better this time. Oh, can't remember how to get the power-ups. I think you have to catch those circles. So when you kick some of the enemies, like a flying disc flies off them, and if I recall, I think if you catch that disc, then it kind of circles around you and it acts almost like a shield. But that's that level dispatched. I've got one of those jumping ones there who's on his way down to see me. So you have to jump, you have to do flying kicks. have a habit of jumping over your normal kicks. Oh dear, I'm getting beat up again. It's fairly straightforward, but it's quite difficult to master this one. This one reminds me a little bit like Yi Kung Fu. It's very easy to play, very difficult to master. I mean, it doesn't help the fact that I probably haven't played this for about 15 years, so I'm probably a little bit rusty at the same time. That's another life lost. Okay, not doing overly great right now. I want to try and get on to the next level at least. Yeah, so if I'd have caught that purple disc, I think that would have been circling around me, which acts as a weapon. Yes, there it is. It's a temple. I do remember that. I could not tell you what comes next. I'm not sure if I've even got off this particular screen itself. I cannot remember. It's been such a long time. But you can see there's plenty of baddies around me now, and they do like to jump. Nice 1,000 points extra there. I'm having so much fun reliving some of my childhood. You know, this come out in 1985, so I was just 12 years old when this come out. I was probably a little bit older by the time I got to play it, but that's the last one done on that particular go. So I've got the high score, 31,700, and scores mean everything on old arcade games. I remember this lady in pink was very difficult as well. She just jumps all over the place. I think that's going to bring an end. No, I've got one more life. Okay. Let's see if we can beat her this time, but she's quite difficult to beat. When you have so many enemies all jumping around the screen, it can get a little bit hectic. I'm doing okay. So every time you jump, she jumps, so you've really got to time your kicks. It looks like it's flying kicks that you've got to do. Oh, and I've just fallen there. Okay, I forgot that you could do that. Okay. Oh dear. Right, I had 4 baddies left, and it's game over. First place though, 42,600. So that's going to bring an end to the game in 4th place. And now we're heading to my all-time top 3 arcade games.
3.
1942 was released in 1984 by Capcom, and it was the company's first major hit and the start of a popular 1940 series. A key design decision was making the player control an American plane to appeal to Western markets. Now I can literally smell and taste the local chip shop. This was the game that spent the longest out of any other game that's in this top 10. It stayed in my local chippy for such a long time, and then when it did go, it would still just keep on coming back. Strangely enough, you would never get 1941 or its sequel 1943. They would just never turn up. It would always be 1942, and that's why I've played this so much, and this game really was incredible, really popular. You know, when I look at this game now, it's technically not one of the best games, granted. 1984 though, but I just remember, purely for the amount of time, you know, as I said, that it spent in my local chip shop, I just spent a ridiculous amount of time and probably money to try and get as far as I can. I remember owning the home console version on the ZX Spectrum, which again was very, very playable indeed. It didn't look as nice as this, of course, but it did play an exceptionally good game of 1942. Right, I'm doing alright. I'm doing alright. It does get a little bit manic, so I'm not too sure how far I'm going to get on this particular playthrough. Was lucky there. Oh no, I weren't so lucky there though. And in fact it is game over. I'm not going to play any more of 1942. So let's see which game takes the number 2 spot and runner up in my top 10 all-time favourite arcade games.
2.
Taking the runners-up spot is Star Force 1984 game by Tekken. It was a pioneering vertical shooter known for its simple one-button control, hidden bonuses and pre-planned enemy patterns. It influenced many later shooters. It featured auto fire, a single power-up, and stages resembling space stations. Becoming a huge hit in Japan after its Famicom port, players piloted the final star, destroying enemies and ground targets across 25 areas, with docking with the Pursa ally for rapid fire, all leading to the final Starbrain boss. I've got to say right off the bat here that this is right up there with Bubble Bobble for one of the best soundtracks ever in an arcade game, in my opinion. This game I played a ridiculous amount of time. Again, it wasn't in any of my local chip shops, this was only in arcades, and this is probably one of the games that I spent most of my hard-earned 10p's. I'm coming towards the end of the first level there and I died right on cue, but let's try again, see if we can get through Alpha Area 1. My word, so far this is the biggest smile on my face since making this entire video. And this music, it's just so iconic for me. Oh my goodness, I can't begin to tell you how good this game is. Let me know in the comments if you've played this one. Let me know if you've never heard of it. But wow, did I play this game a lot. Just as music, the soundtrack to this game, absolutely incredible. There we go, we got the last bit here. Nice. Listen to that music, that soundtrack, absolutely fantastic. And then it just gets really quick now. It's a very loud, very noisy game. Always turned heads in the arcade, did this one when it was turned up. What memories this is. I have thoroughly enjoyed making this video. We are coming towards the end. We've just got number one, the game in number one spot next. And then we've got a couple of honourable mentions as well, which didn't quite make it, but were very close. Right now, let's just enjoy the last bit of Star Force gameplay. Oh, I remember these. They spit out. Gotta try. Stay alive, see if I can get to the end of this level. Decent high score. Again, considering I've not played it for a while, I've done alright on this one. And I think that's why I didn't play the game in third place quite as much, because I knew this was second and I just could not wait to play this. And I've managed that. So that's beta area 2 complete. 104,400, which is a very good score. Not sure how much further I'm going to go. That's a weave in and out. In fact, right on cue, it's game over. Oh my goodness, what memories. And even this music, when you put in your name in, when you put in your initials. Let's get Malin at the top. 108,400. Fantastic memories. Love this one. But it's time for the game that's in number one place. Let's have a look, see what it is.
1.
Kung Fu Master is a 1984 game by Irem. It's a landmark side-scrolling beat-em-up known as Spartan X in Japan. It was inspired by Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee films like Wheels on Meals and The Game of Death, featuring Thomas rescuing Sylvia from Mr. X by ascending a 5-level pagoda, pioneering genre mechanics like scrolling levels, health bars for bosses, and introducing the template for later brawlers like Double Dragon. Wow, where do I start with Kung Fu Master? I was just 11 years old when this game released, and it's by far, regardless of how good any of the other games have been, Star Force in number 2 place, it doesn't matter. None of them was anywhere near as good as Kung Fu Master, in my opinion. I played this game a ridiculous amount of time, and my childhood is mostly all about martial arts and Kung Fu Master in the local chip shop, and it was always in the local chip shop, and that's why it probably become my favourite game, because it was just always there and I just played it so much. I remember there was only, at the time when I used to play it in the chip shop, there was only one other person who ever completed this game, so there was always a little bit of rivalry between myself and this other person. But what fantastic memories are unlocked with this. It's been a couple of years since I've last played this game. I played it on my arcade stick when I first got it, but it has been a while since I've played on that. But what memories are unlocked with Kung Fu Master. I just cannot believe it. I played it on the home consoles as well. ZX Spectrum version was simply atrocious. And if I do a Sinclair Spectrum countdown, which I may well do that soon, Kung Fu Master, you will see. But it's going to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. It really was a very poor game indeed. You can just see me now. I'm just at the end of floor number 2. There is 5 floors, and then you just rinse and repeat with harder bosses. I can't remember. I always had trouble with floor number 4, the boss, and I cannot remember how to do that. It's been a very long time. I'm not too sure how far we're going to get in this particular playthrough. Remember, it's just one go, 3 lives. I've just started floor number 3 now, so I'm quite interested to see how far I can get. I always liked playing the boss at the end of this floor because it was just a very, very tall boss, and I know that he was kind of inspired by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who you see him in the Bruce Lee movie Game of Death. He's like the final boss in that film Game of Death as well. So as I said in the intro, this game is inspired by Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was inspired for the boss at the end of this floor. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's see if I can dispatch these on this floor to go to floor number 4. That's my prediction. Those little characters there, when the skill level is turned up, they will do somersault jumps at you. When it's on a lower difficulty, then they just walk. So it is turned up as well. But they are little buggers to beat. See how far we can get. My prediction is that I'm not going to get to the 5th floor, because I always struggled with the 4th floor, and I only ever done it a couple of times. I have clocked this a couple of times, but I cannot remember how to do the boss at the end of the 4th floor. These butterflies are also a nuisance, and if you can time it so that you don't have to hit a single one, but it really isn't easy. You have to duck there. And I remember the boss on this, it's like an old like goblin type character, and he does fireballs at you, and then dragons appear. It's a very difficult boss, this one. It's actually harder than the boss at the end of floor number 5, which is a Kung Fu Master, which I believe is modelled on Dan Inosanto from the Bruce Lee movies, and also the Game of Death as well. He's modelled on him. And as you can see, the boss just dispatched me. But we're going to keep going. I've got a couple of lives left. I have got 1 or 2 extra lives in this playthrough so far, which is nice. Couldn't avoid that one. Oh dear, that was not good. And they take off so much health as well. Very difficult level, this one. Oh, come on. What I mean, when they start... Oh, okay. When they start jumping at you, it's really tough. Okay. This is my last life. No, they're catching me up. Oh no. No. This is going to be really tough now. Look how much health I've got. Somebody only has to give me a dirty look and it's going to be game over. So I'm not going to make floor 5 on this particular go. There he's there. And I'm dead. Okay, have I got one more life, or was that my last life? I've got one more life. Okay, this is it. This is my last life in my top 10 all-time arcade games. Please let me know in the comments what some of your favourite arcade memories are. And have you got any form of emulation at home which allows you to continue playing your arcade classics as well? I've got a Pandora's Box arcade stick. I do have a video on the channel already. Oh no. But yeah, just let me know in the comments what your favourite games were and how you play these games now. Is it just emulation on your computer, or do you have an arcade as well? And that's it. I got the high score, 68,100. Let's put my name in so I can brag on the scoreboard there. Only there's nobody else that's going to see this scoreboard, but let's get my name in there. So some absolutely fantastic games in this top 10. I hope you've enjoyed it. Some absolute classics, and it's brought back so many wonderful memories for me playing these wonderful arcade games. But Kung Fu Master was number one. Okay, so just before we go, I am just going to take a look at 4 honourable mentions of 4 classic games that didn't quite make my top 10. Who can forget Galaga, a classic 1981 arcade space shooter from Namco? It was known for its addictive gameplay, its iconic track-to-beam mechanic to form a powerful dual fighter, challenging patterns, making it a sequel to Galaxian that captivated players with all the strategic depth, and also became a pop culture staple in movies like Pixels and shows like The Simpsons, despite a known memory-based kill screen on level 255. This is a timeless classic. Ghosts and Goblins in 1985 is a famously brutal Capcom arcade platformer where Knight Arthur battles demons to save Princess Prin, known for its punishing difficulty, 2-hit death system, and the requirement to replay the entire game at a higher difficulty for the true ending. I always remember this game being brutally difficult, and it was ported over as well to all of the home computers at the time. I owned this on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Again, it was a decent version, but my word, was it difficult. Double Dragon was released in 1987, and it's a groundbreaking arcade beat-em-up by Technos in Japan. It was famous for its pioneering 2-player cooperative gameplay, weapon pickups with bats, knives, seamlessly scrolling levels, and intuitive joystick and button combat, becoming incredibly successful and defining the genre for years to come through its arcade graphics. It also boasted a whopping 384 colours. My final game in my honourable mentions is R-Type. It was a landmark 1987 arcade shooter by Irem. It was famous for its brutal difficulty, its biomechanical HR, ginger-inspired art, and revolutionary force pod weapon that could attach to your ship or act as a detachable shield or gun, making it a strategic masterpiece demanding memorisation, challenging players with relentless pattern-based enemies and massive bosses, as the game became a massive commercial success and it helped define the horizontal shooter genre that we love and play today. So that is going to bring an end to my look at my top 10 all-time favourite arcade games from the 80s. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. It has unlocked so many fantastic memories for me. I hope you've all enjoyed it too. If you have enjoyed this one, guys, I would really appreciate if you can give this video a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribing is absolutely free and it really does help out my channel more than you ever know. Leave me some comments as well. Let me know if any of these games would have made your top 10 list, and let me know which one is your favourite. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'll see you next time.
Game over.